Maize is one of the priority agricultural commodities identified and being promoted by government. It is the most important grain in the country, and it is the main staple food in Uganda and the region.
This maize you see, we use it as a food. It is grown, it is traded, and it is a source of many other products. Animal feeds, I am told the biggest content is actually maize bran, and maize bran is a byproduct of maize grain.
Maize is one of Uganda's leading agricultural exports, fetching in substantial export revenues to the country. Data available from the Uganda National Bureau of Standards shows that the country produced 4.6 million tons of maize. The commodity is mainly produced by smallholder farmers on farms ranging from 1 to 10 acres. Researchers are working hand in hand with seed companies to ensure that farmers get the certified maize seed. One of these companies is Equator Seeds Limited, based in northern Uganda.
We acquire material from National Crops Resources Research Institute in Namulonge, the maize breeding department under the Cereals program. And this material, we do maintenance and bulking on our farms, partly. Then we also do constitution of this material with our very experienced outgrowers and also on farm, in order to acquire certified seed or hybrid.
But in order for quality of maize seed to be improved, this will require putting in place a proper maize seed distribution system.
But the other last thing with the maize is the seed systems, which is very important to give genetics to the farmers to realize the benefit for increased production. And we have been working very close with the seed companies in terms of producing and maintaining the parental lines, which is both the nucleus and the breeder seed on station, and then working with the companies to produce foundation seed, to produce good quality certified seed for the farmers, and training them on quality seed management systems.
Big players like Asili Farms in Kiryandongo district have emerged and muscled in to produce maize on a very large scale. With 5,000 hectares, Asili Farms demonstrates the kind of quality that can be achieved for maize if it is managed professionally.
So we start by sourcing good seed, and then when we plant that seed, we manage it through all the cycles. Of course, we do the planting, the spraying to manage the weeds, and we also do some spraying to manage the fungal diseases. So when we talk about aflatoxins, many times the farmers don't care so much about the fungal diseases, but this is where the farmers get it wrong. You have to ensure that you prevent your maize against these fungal diseases by doing a fungicide application, and then when you do that, you plant on time, you ensure that you spray fungal applications, you'll be able to get the good quality grain.
Through cutting-edge research, the National Crops Resources Research Institute in Namulonge, NACRI, has further developed highly nutritious and Striga-resistant varieties. Striga is a deadly parasitic weed. The fortified maize variety is vitamin A rich, known as Maize 63 Vita, while Maize 64 STR has been developed to stem Striga. Despite a lot that has been done to improve maize seeds, there are still challenges with quality. Poor quality of the commodity is attributed to the informal nature in which it is currently handled and traded.
Unfortunately, as we stand today, the formal trade in grain is just like about 20%, and the rest is informal.
This is a concern at large maize processors like Bedia United Agencies in Mbarara, which had export markets in the DR Congo and South Sudan.
Government should intervene, and then we address this quality challenge. It is affecting our products. We are not selling within the region and even exporting because the quality is really poor.
Nonetheless, an increase in private sector investment in storage infrastructure and aggregation facilities is helping to address this. Most maize storage facilities now have equipment like meters to keep track of quality and to ensure that moisture levels do not exceed the recommended 13.5 of the East African Community Standard.
And you know, the mandate of quality lies with the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. We have an MOU with them. Now, with this MOU, we are trying to make sure that whatever we do, we emphasize quality. As you are aware, quality is one of the serious setback in our grain, especially maize. The issue of aflatoxin, we have sung and oversung about it.
Lota Agro-Processors Limited, based in Kigumba in the mid-north of Uganda, was set up in 2019 as a grain aggregation company. It is located appropriately in a very important grain belt for Uganda. Its clientele are poultry farmers in northern Uganda and exporters of maize to the regional markets.
The maize that is found not of good quality is rejected and taken back. When it comes to quality processing point of view, we make sure that the maize is cleaned and properly dried to the required moisture content, which is 13.5, as stated in the East African standards. Thereafter, we make sure that there's proper handling until storage.
The challenge is that the quality of maize supplied by farmers is still overwhelmingly low.
We carry out tests, much of the grain is rejected, but even that we receive is not really the quality we need. So if you discover it has some aflatoxins, but at lower levels. And our aim is to buy grain which is at zero level.
The National Crops Resources Research Institute has come up with a potential remedy known as AfloSafe.
A product we developed and which is about to be registered called AfloSafe. That will be commercialized and used in mitigation of aflatoxin, which is also a problem related to quality of maize in Uganda. So that work, we're also happy to report it is on very good progress and the results are very promising.
That said, it goes without saying that Uganda maize has somewhat bounced back from the blight of 2021 when there were blanket regional bans due to quality leading to losses for stakeholders. From a loss-making year, production has grown exponentially and exports recovered, bringing in more than threefold in export revenues. But crucially, maize grain is a holy grail that will enable Uganda's dairy industry to be sustained in order to supply the continent. It is also going to be the basis if Uganda's aquaculture is to attain 1 million tons per year, because this grain is a main ingredient in fish feed. Maize is also the main ingredient in poultry, where Uganda is slowly becoming the regional supplier of poultry and poultry products. Without a doubt, maize is a very important staple that Uganda cannot afford to mess up due to failure to adhere to quality and standards.